Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make my yogurt. Now it's just a basic Greek style yogurt, a natural yogurt, no sugars, no flavours, just a little bit of milk powder, some yogurt that you already have and some water, and that's it. And a little yogurt maker. When you buy a yogurt maker, it comes with a little plastic thing that you put in there, or sometimes if you're lucky enough it will come with a glass jar. Now, whether you use a yogurt maker like this stainless steel one, or if you have one of those plastic ones that you can get at the supermarket, the large mason jar, now I always say this is a litre and it's not a litre, I think it's 800 ml, 850 ml. But it fits inside the yogurt maker, so you can make your yogurt in a nice glass jar instead of plastic if you choose to. The plastic's fine, but I just think the glass jar holds the heat for a little bit longer and it processes your yogurt for a little bit longer, and you do get a thicker yogurt if that's what you're chasing. I don't know anyone that doesn't like a really thick yogurt. They're always chasing a really thick yogurt. Well, this recipe fits perfectly in this jar, in my yogurt maker, so that's what you're gonna need today. But before I show you how to make it, I'll just show you what the yogurt looks like so you can decide if you want to make it or not. Now I've got two yogurts here. This one I had processing last night, so it was ready this morning. This one I made a couple of days ago and it's been in the fridge. So I'll show you the one that hasn't been in the fridge so you know what it looks like before you put it in the fridge, because it goes firmer once it's really cold. So I'll take the lid off both of those. So if you do have your wide mouth mason jars, you can buy these plastic lids that go on them. But here in Australia, these are so expensive. I don't know what I paid last time, but they're expensive. So what I did discover is these instant coffee jars that we have here in Australia, they come with this glass lid that has this plastic little thing on it. Now this little thing fits perfectly on a wide mouth mason jar. So that's what I use instead of buying these, and they're really good. They're airtight, they're leak proof, nothing comes out of them. I won't, enough weight of that yogurt might, but they're really good. So this one is still warm, I can feel that it's warm. So when I show you how to make this yogurt, this is the way that you want to check it to make sure your yogurt is ready to go in the fridge. It's stiff, it's a thick yogurt. So this is how thick your yogurt is. I hope you can see that. Now this one's been in the fridge for at least 24 hours. And as you can see, I'll try and show you in the jar. Hopefully you can see that. How beautiful that yogurt is. So it's really thick, creamy, and yummy. So that's the yogurt that I'm going to show you how to make today. Okay, so to start with, we're getting our milk powder. I just use full cream milk powder. I don't use light or light white or all the fancy things. I just use full cream. So this is 160 grams. Now I've tweaked this so that I have the thickness in the yogurt that I want. If you want a runnier yogurt, just put a little bit less milk powder. But I like a really thick yogurt, and this one, 160 grams in this jar is perfect. So straight into your bowl, 160 grams. Now you can do this in a bowl or a jug, whatever you like, but this little bowl, it's a Pyrex bowl, I think. It pours really well, it pours better than my jugs. So in with that goes, and then just a bit of filtered water. Use filtered water. So put some water in there and then just whisk that up to get rid of all your milk lumps. I'll move that over so you can see. Use a whisk because the milk powder does tend to get stuck on the bowl and stuck in clumps. So you don't want a mouthful of milk powder in your yogurt. And that's all you need to do. Put your whisk in your sink, no more whisking. I put the yogurt in the fridge, but we need to add the yogurt. So I'm just gonna get some of my cold yogurt out. So that spoonful that we were pulling out of here before, that's about what we're gonna need. So I'm just gonna get a really big spoonful. That's a dessert spoon. So I'm getting a really good spoonful and I'm just going to put that in my bowl. And that's it. As much as you can fit on a dessert spoon, that's all you need. So there's my yogurt. You can see how thick it still is. Now remember, this was the one that I had in the fridge. I haven't started a yogurt with a warm yogurt that I've just done, but I'm sure it's the same thing. Now I'm just going to stir that through. Don't whisk your yogurt through. For some reason, and I think you can just destroy your yogurt culture when you whisk it. For some reason, your yogurt just does not go as thick if you're really rough with that culture. So then get your jar, and we're just going to pour this in the jar. That's it. You could see that there was chunks of yogurt when I did that. That's fine. Now, just pop your spoon in there. I've made a bit of a mess. I'll clean that up. Okay, so we've got that in our jar. Now we're just going to top that up with water. That's it. Just top it up to the neck of the jar. Fill it up to the top of the jar and just give it a stir. And that's it. You are going to have yogurt. The yogurt that I just showed you. That is it. That's how you make it. So then pop one of your lids on. You can pop that on until it goes click. And that's tight. That lid is on. Now, my kitchen is pretty cold. So everything in my kitchen is cold. So this jar is cold. Even though my water was at room temperature, it wasn't out of the fridge, it still feels a bit cold. I don't really feel comfortable putting boiling hot water right on my jar. So as you guys know, I always have, I was about to say salty water. I always have soapy water in my sink. So I'm just going to sit that jar in there. And then that gives you time, boil your kettle, get ready, clean up anything, but just let that sit for just a couple of minutes just to take that chill off your jar. So my jar has sat in there for a couple of minutes. I'll just wipe my suds off and then I'm going to put this in my yogurt maker. I don't recommend that you put your hot water in first and then plop your jar in. You always seem to put the wrong amount and then it burns on your fingers. Well, that's what's happened to me. So I've learned to put my jar in first before my water. So then just push it to the side and then we're just going to pour boiling water into here until it comes up to the neck of the jar, pop our lid on, set it aside. And that's all we're going to do. You will have yogurt in about 8 hours. So I've got my hot water in there. I didn't make that much mess considering where you have to pour it down that little side. And then just pop your lid on. Now depending on when you make your yogurt, if you make your yogurt of an evening or if you make your yogurt of a morning, usually I like to make my yogurt in the morning, then by the evening I'm putting it in the fridge so that it's cold for the next day to eat. If you make your yogurt of an evening, then you're going to have warm yogurt to eat in the mornings. Your choice. But for me, I like cold yogurt. So I make mine in the morning, process it throughout the day, and then it goes in the fridge and it's ready for the following morning. So that's it. Now I just sit that to the side over on my bench, but later in the day I'll move that over here to my sink, and otherwise I'll forget about it and I might leave that there for 2 days, who knows. So now with the same yogurt, I did this yesterday. So this was done yesterday afternoon and it's hung overnight. Now this can be called 2 things. It's either a hung yogurt or it's cream cheese. I call it cream cheese because that's what I use it for. I use it in my dips, I use it in cheesecake, I use it as you would, cream cheese on a cracker, whatever you like. Now you saw how easy that yogurt was to make. Well, it's just as easy to make the cream cheese with that recipe, with that yogurt. And it's beautiful. This cream cheese, it lasts just sitting in the fridge for about 4 weeks. Well, even longer. I ate mine within that time, so I can't tell you how long it took. So this is exactly 1 jar, well less, a couple of spoonfuls maybe. in some cloth, and I've just hung that overnight. Now I'm gonna get that out and show you, but before I do, I'm just gonna make sure the outside of it isn't too wet, because if I dry the cloth a little bit with some paper towel, it's easier for me to peel off. So all I did with that, I'll just sit that to the side. I can use some of that. I can feel that the paper towel is getting a little bit wet, and I want to just get as much moisture out of that as I can before I peel the cloth off. So I'll just show you what I did. So I have my jar of yogurt, and then I just got one of these little cloths that you know I love. And then I just did that, scraped my yogurt in, scooped up the 4 corners, and then I hang it on my little basket. Now this little basket that I have, it fits this little bowl in there perfectly, and that's how much whey came out of this yogurt. That's how much came out, just dripping out of it. It was amazing. Now I'm gonna keep that. That's liquid gold. We can use that for lots of things. I'll show you that another day. But you can hang it over your sink, you can hang it, but I always hang it somewhere where it is in the way. It's always in the way. But like I say to you, my kitchen is quite cold, so I don't have to worry about sitting things out. I can leave butter out, I can leave cheese out, I can leave things out because it's cold. But in the middle of summer, I might want to put it in the fridge, or you might want to put it in the fridge. So just find something that is quite mobile. So like I said, this little bowl fits in my basket, and then I can just tie my little thing and hang it. And I can put that in the fridge, I can take it wherever I want, and that's what works for me. So you find what works for you and you do it. Some people hang it over their sink with a bowl under it, but it'd end up down the sink in my household. So that's what I do. So let's have a look at our cream cheese. Oh, I didn't tell you that when you do tie the top, I do have a little hair elastic. Now, don't be grossed out. I buy a packet of hair elastics that aren't the colour for my hair, blonde hair elastics, and that's what I use in my kitchen. They've never been in anyone's hair, they've never been used, but they're so handy. I just have a handful of them in the drawer, and that's what I use. So let's have a look. I'll get a dish out so we can pour it into, well, not pour it, put it into the dish, and you can see how good this is. Honestly, you're gonna love it. Hopefully. So like I said, I just pop some paper towel on there just to make sure I've got as much moisture out of it. It still feels a little bit wet, and as you can see, there's my hair elastic that I had tied on it. So I'm just going to take that off. Now I did this last night and it's mid-morning here for me, so it's hung for at least 8 hours. Compost. Now when you do get your cream cheese out, or your hung yogurt, whatever you want to call it, don't just start ripping your cloth off. Let it just fall away and it peels off. I'll try and show it to you. If I was just to start pulling that off, it's just going to take chunks of my cheese. But if I peel it off a little bit like that, you can see there's a little bit of a chunk, but I can pop that back on. I'll get a knife. If you get little escapey bits, just pop it back on there. Because you don't want to waste any. And then as I go around, you can see it's just going to pull off like that. Oops, I've got a little bit here. And just push it back up. And see, I just noticed if that's coming away, just push it back on. Push it back on with the rest of your cloth. And we're getting this beautiful cream cheese. Make sure it's not stuck in your folds. And then, look at this. We have this beautiful cream cheese that I just spilt everywhere. So now I'll just get this little dish, and that's how I store it in my fridge. I just put a little wrap on the top of it, and I just have it in there because I'm always using it. Now it's a little bit, it's not as firm as cream cheese is, but once it's been in the fridge, it firms up. And that's it. Now I'll just pop that, I do not put that in my washing, I'll pop that in my soapy water and I'll hand wash that. And there you have it. It's cream cheese. It's beautiful. That'll firm right up and it's exactly the same as cream cheese and it tastes beautiful, lasts for a long time. So use this recipe to make your yogurt and your cream cheese. You won't be sorry. Now, once that yogurt is done, you saw what it's gonna look like, then just keep rotating it. All you need to store is some milk powder. That's it. And just don't eat all your yogurt because you always want to end up with a little bit of leftover so you can just keep making it. I usually have about 3 jars of yogurt in the fridge and definitely a cream cheese. So does that make it 4? I don't know. Not classed as yogurt, is it? But anyway, give this recipe a go. You're gonna love it. It's beautiful. It is so nice. It's nicer than the yogurt that you'll buy because it's so fresh and it just doesn't have that over sour taste to it. It's beautiful. Give it a go. And until then, don't forget to like and subscribe and I'll show you what recipes we can make with our cream cheese and our yogurt. I'll see you next time. Now this is a little piece of cream cheese that I had in the fridge, so this is all I have left. Well, I did tidy it up a little bit. It was a bit messy. But anyway, this is a nice piece that I had in the fridge and you'll be able to see how firm it goes. It goes a lot firmer than the one we just made, so that's an indication of how firm it goes once you've had it in the fridge. So if I cut this now, look at this. It's cream cheese. It's just beautiful. It's exactly the same as the spreadable cream cheese or the other one in the block. It's the same thing, but this one tastes way better. Always get it on the end of my spoon.